Edmonton Elks go into Regina with Cody Fajardo as their starting quarterback, but leave Regina kind of the same way most of the season has been after a football game. The Edmonton Elks lose to the Saskatchewan Roughriders 21-18. They drop to 1-5 on the season. Welcome to the Green and Gold Postgame Show live right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports, presented by Play Alberta. Matt Iwanyk, Jay Milne with you here. Thank you to everyone for tuning in across our audio streams at edmontonsportstalk.com. For those watching on YouTube, as well as for those listening to this on podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. A fair bit to get to today. Cody Fajardo comes in place of Trey Ford, puts up some really good numbers, but still doesn't get the victory. But the defense on the other side have their best game of the season. I don't think there was going to be a question of that. Only giving up 21 points, but also, again, not good enough in the end as the Elks do fall 21-18. Your thoughts always welcome in the nasty chat. You could also jump into the inbox, 780-218-9999. Jay and I will be with you for the next hour or so as we break down this game. Jay, before we get to everyone else here, your thoughts on the game from tonight?
Quick thoughts. Penalties. The right side of the old line couldn't have blocked my daughters. The defense played their best game of the year. That was both of our keys to the game. Defense showed up. They did. They showed up in a big way. And I thought Cody Fajardo, albeit was under pressure all night, played pretty darn well. But when you have the penalties that they had, 11 penalties for 133 yards, I believe they ended up giving up, let's see here, 8 sacks. You're not going to get much done offensively. That right side of the O-line was deplorable. The right side of the O-line was embarrassing. That should not be a professional O-line. I don't know what happened to Brett Boyko tonight. Because I have not noticed him in a negative way as much as I had tonight. That cost them. If you look at the sacks they gave up, combine that with the stupid penalties. I mean, there was one that was on a no yard that there was a turnover. They could have got the ball. And at that point, the game was quote unquote out of hand. And you take a senseless no yards penalty, flying in there like you did not know what 5 yards was. I mean, the penalties were problematic, and they've been pretty good on penalties this year. They were very undisciplined in that aspect tonight. But despite all that, you know, you and I are sitting there with 1 minute left in the game, or 40 however many seconds left, and there's a chance, there's a shot here for this team to come back and rally. But ultimately, it was what killed them all night, killed them in the end, which was their offensive line simply could not handle a 4-man pressure, a 4-man rush. This was not blitz packages. This was twists. This was inside outsides that just made them look like they had never seen a twist in their life. I don't know how to explain that. I don't know how that happens at this level. But McKellar looked like he should be playing U Sports, not in the CFL. Rant over.
We saw tonight, for me, when it comes to the offense, that the problem with the offense, partly, the O-line is a problem. There's no question about that. I'm not everything you said on the O-line, 100%. I have nothing to add to that. Okay. They were awful on that one side. To me, the problem with this offense right now is the offensive coordinator. When the Elks had, like, they had 4 points through the first 3 quarters. And Cody Fajardo had a really good game today. No one could sit here and say Cody Fajardo did not play well. The thing is, like, they had 8 2-and-outs, I think, tonight. They had only 4 points scored through 3 quarters, and it's not good enough. But when they scored points, what was one thing you were asking for late in that quarter that we saw on their last touchdown drive?
What you should do if they are rushing you and eating your lunch as a defensive front four.
Which is?
Let them come to you, because your offensive line can't stop them, and then dump it out. Dump it outside to Justin Rankin. Dump it outside. Have you heard of a screen pass? Have you heard of anything to take the... We saw it last night in Calgary with MBT. That's what they did. Calgary was giving them all this. Take what they're giving you. They could not stop that 5-0 lineman, at least the right side, could not stop that pressure. Dump it over their heads and run.
And that's the thing. There was no adjustment until very late in the game from the offensive coordinator,
yes,
Jordan McSimic, to adjust to that. And that's why I go with the biggest problem right now is not your quarterback. It's not whether Trey or Cody starts. It's and like the run game, and we could get to the run game. There was no run game today, but I've been saying this all week. You shouldn't have been expecting much of a run game because you're going up against the best rush defense in the Canadian Football League. And they are the second worst. They were with the Elks on the worst pass defense in the Canadian Football League. Beating them today was through the air. And we saw it on that last drive. You can beat them by using your running backs, but by dropping the ball off to them. Or had they tried using screens earlier in the game? What did Trevor Harris do quite a bit today? It was just little dump off passes. That's all he was doing.
Yeah.
And the fact that Jordan McSimic didn't get to that play calling soon enough may have cost them this game. Imagine if they, instead of just having Cody step back in the pocket and then getting eaten up because the right side of the offensive line most notably couldn't protect him. Imagine if they tried doing a little bit more dump stuff or had some more options where he could just get the ball out 3 yards and then let that running back or that receiver, running back, whoever catches it, go for a little bit.
Yeah.
Today showed to me more than anything, the offensive struggles that this team has had this season does not start on the football field. It starts with the individual sitting in the booth. It starts in the individual calling these plays right now. And he needs to be much better if this team is going to go anywhere this season, if have any shot of going anywhere this season. Because it's just simply not good enough. You know, he adjusts way too late and he doesn't have a proper game plan. Like, I'll still go 2 weeks ago against BC, which is the best pass defense in the league and the worst run defense in the league. He barely ran the football.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, that's the frustrating part I would have there. You saw your O-line struggling today. You can't fix that mid-game. Like, that's not an easy fix to make when it comes to your offense. You can't coach your offensive lineman better in that game in that moment. Adjust. Find a way to move that football while your O-line isn't protecting your quarterback. And we know that they could have done it because we saw it late in that game. 14 points in the fourth quarter. That's the reason this was a close football game. He was supposed to come in and be and he has shown it in the past, but a brilliant mind with this offense. And so far this season, through 6 games, I have yet to see Jordan McSimic be an outstanding offensive coordinator of the Canadian Football League, and one that I have confidence in, with whether it's Cody or Trey or with Rankin or Leak or with anyone out there, that he's going to call a game that's best suited to whoever is on that field to be the most successful. I feel like he's hindering this offense, quite frankly.
Can I remind you of something you mentioned early in the season? It might have even been the first game of the year. And you said, my concern with Jordan McSimic is that he's never really instilled and committed to a solid run game anywhere he's been. What was all the runs? Oh, by the way, all the runs is all of 5 between Justin Rankin and Javon Leake.
Rankin finished with 0 yards.
What were all 5 of those runs?
Just right up the middle?
2 words, zone read. Can we run an off tackle, a lead? You sometimes bring in a 6th lineman and you waste him with a zone read. Run a directed run play. Have you heard of misdirection in the backfield? Saskatchewan did it. They did it quite well. It actually led to a Sam MLS touchdown. Everybody goes this way, MLS goes that way. This is not rocket science. This is football 101. Have you heard of a counter? A counter. That is taught in bantam football. Zone read is not getting it done with this front five. I'm sorry. They cannot have zone blocking packages. Run a directed counter. Counter Trey with your extra O lineman that you bring in. My gosh, this is just so bothersome that this keeps happening. How do you not get a little bit more imagination with your run game or any of your players out of the backfield? I feel like I'm just banging my head against this beautiful wall supplied by William Huff. I really do, Matt. It's just frustrating to see. What is it? The definition of insanity is continually doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. That is what is happening. Run some sort of an established run game. This zone read is not working. I get you might, but any of the most explosive runs we've seen out of this offense have come on cutbacks, have come on seams that are opened up for misdirection. And it actually helps your O-line because they have purpose. They have blocking schemes. A zone blocking scheme is defeated quickly by athletic defenders and an athletic front four, which Saskatchewan has. And it boggles my mind that this cannot be beat. Now, that all aside, you cannot overcome the penalties that you've taken. You cannot overcome penalties taken at critical times. You can overcome putting your defenders, once again, in lose-lose situations in the red zone. And I'm talking about a cover zero in the red zone, which leads to a simple pitch and catch because you're blitzing two extra guys. The defensive staff needs to know better than that at this point. They were getting pressure on Trevor Harris with their front four. That's one of the first games that I've seen, and you've noticed it too, that they were getting actual pressure and making Trevor Harris, you said it in the pregame show, making him uncomfortable in the pocket. Why do you need to blitz in the red zone? That gave up a simple pitch and catch, which, at that point put the game up 21-11.
No, it would have been 21-4.
Or 21-4, sorry.
The Elks scored 14 unanswered in the fourth.
Yeah, it put up 21-4.
And that's what made it 21.
If you keep that a field goal, this is a different game. Like, you can't be so shallow-sighted and nearsighted to not see that, hey, at some point this offense is going to get it together. Or at least give them the appearance that you're trying to at least have a little bit of a game plan. Stand tall there and give up 3. Don't give up the touchdown because you're blitzing, because it was not effective. It hasn't been effective all year.
It has not.
Bringing the extra pressure.
Too aggressive.
All it's been doing is putting your defensive secondary on an island. I'm sorry, but a lot of this game hangs on the coordinators of this team.
Which I will make an argument that might be a lot of this season might hang on the coordinators of this team. I think that's what we're getting to, maybe more so here, in that there's just, because with what you're saying about JC Sherritt, we've seen that time and time again, and I could just go right to week 1. In that second half, they continually were extremely aggressive with their blitzes. We weren't just sending 5 or 6 guys. We're sending the house, and we're just getting beat, just getting picked apart. And that was week 1, and you haven't learned from that all the way into week 8 and your 6th game of the season. And everything that I've already said about Jordan Maksimic. And this was the worst special teams performance we've seen, because a lot of the penalties that we did see today were also special teams. I know of at least 2 no-yard penalties that occurred there. We had the delay of game penalty that we saw at the end of the game. I know there's a special teams coordinator, but I'm going to let that falls a little bit on Mark Killam, I would have to say there. The coaching staff is letting this team down this season, I would have to say right now. And that has to be a concern, because Mark Killam is a first-year head coach. JC Sherritt is a first-year defensive coordinator. And Jordan Maksimic, while he has been an offensive coordinator, is still a relatively new offensive coordinator in this league. And maybe we should have looked more and going, where's the veteran experience on this staff? I know we talked about it slightly when this staff was announced, but maybe we should have put more emphasis on that over the offseason. Was it's too inexperienced for these people in their positions. And if you're going to go with a rookie head coach, you better have some damn veteran experience across the board to help them all out. And we don't have that on that Elks staff when we look at it. I would love to rip more of the players. I would love to go more at the offense. But I feel like today we're seeing that the game plan and the execution from the coaching staff and from the booths and the silence and the people wearing the headsets just isn't there for this team. Offensively can't make the adjustments that are necessary. Defensively just calling the same things that this team isn't capable of executing right now. And to your definition of insanity, expecting a different result. This season and this game, I think, is maybe the more noticeable. Like they could have beaten the Riders tonight. They were 9.5-point dogs, and they could have beaten the Saskatchewan Roughriders tonight, including being down 21-4 going on the fourth quarter. And this was the best defensive game, so I don't want to take anything away from J.C. Sheridan on the defensive side, and where they only gave up 21 points.
Yeah, that's in the CFL. But you should win that game.
But to what you just said, there, like you still allowed 21 points through three quarters going into that fourth quarter.
I was pretty happy with the way the defense played, Matty, until that last touchdown that they scored to go up 21-4. I thought that was just too much of a risk in that situation. They were not getting beat. They were rallying to a lot. And truthfully, I guess they were getting beat. They were getting beat to the corner. They were getting beat to the outside of the field.
But you want to say they gave up yards, but they never gave up that extra yard for the first down. They were excellent.
Their first down defense was phenomenal.
Their second down defense was really good. Their second down
defense was better than it's been this year.
They would get to the guy and they would give up the 5 yards or whatever it is, but it would be 2nd and 7. And it'd be 2 yards. And the Riders are in that position where they have to decide, can you go for it or not? And they'd have to punt it.
Yeah. Also, second down conversions, they were 45%.
Defensively, they are an amazing unit on that short yardage.
It's pretty good. They know what to do there.
That is an elite.
That was a huge
in terms
stop.
of first down stops.
Yeah.
They've done that all season. So I guess JC Sherritt cut into that one on that part.
But why does it take to the fourth quarter for your offensive coordinator to figure things out? To know to mix it up, to add some different layers to this offense. Because I'll tell you what, man, Cody Fajardo played his ass off. Cody Fajardo, 26 of 33, 346 yards. 2 touchdowns. He did as best as you could without having your face rammed in the turf because you were getting sacked again. There was one time where McKellar and Boyko looked like they were out there olaying with a bull. It looked like they were running what do they do in Pamplona? The running of the bulls?
Yeah.
When you olay.
That's not running of the bulls.
What is that?
Isn't that just like when
like a bullfighter?
Bull hunt? Yeah, bullfighting.
They were holding up the red carpet saying, "Hey, come right through." Literally, if you could stop and take that picture, they would have been like this. That simply cannot happen at this level. McKellar got exposed on movement. So credit to Saskatchewan with a game plan that said this guy cannot pick up any sort of outside to inside movement. He's going to be too late, too slow. That got exposed. Brett Boyko had an off night. I don't think this is the end of the line or this is, get rid of Brett Boyko. He had a rough night at right tackle. Now, once again, credit's due where it's due. Saskatchewan brings pressure with their front four. That is something Edmonton did better tonight, albeit not as good as Saskatchewan. But that O-line got a little bit exposed tonight.
Okay, but why not make some sort of moves? You did it with the quarterback. Why not do it here in another spot?
If you have somebody better at right guard that can fill that role, please.
I don't know. I think there's got to be, you can't just be always on the quarterback. It wasn't quarterbacking that caused the Elks to be 1-4 going to this. And tonight showed it's not quarterback. That's why they're 1-5. But where's the accountability then from this organization and this coaching staff for other players? Where's the accountability for players that are taking those bad penalties?
Matty, if they have a better option to fill in on that right side, then I think they're going to exercise it. I just don't know if they do.
But then I don't like this is supposed to be must-win time. You put in Cody Fajardo to get a win. You couldn't get win. So now where do you go from here with this rest of the team? You just go about it and go for it next week the same type of way.
Hey, man, you know me. I'm all for make the changes if you can. But I don't know. Is there options sitting out there in the free agency world that you can sign? I mean, I get NFL camps just open.
Evans for McKellar's spot. Evans for McKellar's spot.
That might be a logical move because that did not look good tonight. That looked downright embarrassing. What happened on that O-line? And then once again, Matt, I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to keep harping on this. Penalties. You cannot win games when you're taking 11 penalties for 133 yards. That's not 5-yard offsides. That's not 10-yard holdings for the most part. That's 11 penalties for 133 yards. That's not good. Those are 15-yarders. There's a few of them racked up in there. And a few is about three too many. Maybe two too many. You're going to take 1 or 2 a game. I understand that. So did Saskatchewan. But look at the difference in that spread. That's 80 yards in field position given up in penalties. Mm-hmm. That's the ball game. That's the difference in this game tonight.
BA split. If you can't block 4 guys, you're bad. Should have spent forward money on an O-lineman. Well, they did bring in David Beard and they did bring in McKellar. They did spend and add to this offensive line. But the flip side is this was actually a really good O-line with Ivy, Boyko, and Cordy last year. That it would have been, you wouldn't have walked away from Bet Boyko or Mark Cordy or Martez Ivy after last season. You would have been crazy too if you're Ed Hervey. You brought back David Beard and you filled out your right guard spot with McKellar. Like, they did spend money on the offensive line, though. And it's regressed this season.
Yeah. Yeah, it has.
So now how do you get that going? How do you get that?
Well, you can game plan for that.
Sure.
That's where, if you know your deficiencies are, where your deficiencies are, you can game plan for that. There's not an O-line in the world that's perfect.
I know, but that's my problem. Then that's why tonight once again is showing to me that this is a Jordan McSimic problem. He's not game planning.
I agree.
He's not game planning for like. I could go to just all across the board. Just too many times in these games, he's just doesn't have the proper game plan. Week 1, you said you started, you run the ball, didn't run the ball. Okay, the next week he ran the ball a little bit more, but then last 2 weeks doesn't run the ball enough. But and it's not. To your point, it's not just running the ball one way. Like, it's like he only has one running play.
Because that way ain't working.
And he's not trying to do something different. Like, he's Jordan McSimic has awful preparation going into games so far this season. And during the games, he has awful adjustments. And that's where it's like, you're right, like Cody Fajardo next week against Hamilton Tiger Cats. Where are the Ticats when it comes to sacks this season? Let me quickly pull this up. The Ticats, when it comes to sacks this season, are 6th. They have 9 sacks going into this week. The Riders had 12. So they're able to get to the quarterback. You're not going to have success against the Hamilton Tiger Cats if you play this game plan again. But if you play like you did in that fourth quarter, where you
like creatively?
Yes, you're going to have success.
Like having a creative offensive game plan? Hey, let's get to the inbox. Couple ones came in here. This comes in from C. Hendo. Hey, fellas, Elks problems today, and coincidentally, the whole season. 1, 1A, the OC. 1B, the O-line. 2, penalties. 3, lack of D-line pressure and secondary interceptions. They go hand in hand. And 4, the coaching staff seems in over their heads. C. Hendo, happy Friday and cheers. And he says, one more thing. Undoubtedly, Fajardo starts next week.
It's not a question.
It's not a question.
It never was going to be a question.
Yeah, it was. If he came out and had a 50% completion percentage through 2 interceptions.
You can't do snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap.
What are you talking about?
If
Who's
he had
snip
a bad,
snapping?
if he
I'm
had
not snip snapping.
If he had a bad game, you'd have to go to him next week. You got to let him bounce back.
I never said that.
Well, you're just saying if he had that, maybe you would.
Yeah, but I didn't think Cody Fajardo. I thought Cody Fajardo would have exactly the game he had.
I'm saying even if Cody had that bad game, you have to stick with him.
Sans terrible O-line play.
You couldn't switch it anyways, even if it was a terrible game, because you can't be doing a snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap thing like we saw last year. Like you need to allow a quarterback a couple of games. You need to allow them to come out and do it. So Cody Fajardo absolutely is getting the start next week. But to me, this is what I saw tonight. It kind of illustrates the point I was making in the kickoff show, is it doesn't matter who your quarterback is. This wasn't a Trey Ford problem. This team had 4 points offensively through 3 quarters.
They threw the ball.
Don't care.
Oh, you don't?
They had 4 points through 3 quarters.
They threw the ball 33 times. They attempted 33 passes.
Yeah, sure, but they had 4 points through 3 quarters. That's my point. Like, they threw the ball and they got their yards, but they weren't scoring points until later.
Fair point.
That's why I'm saying it wasn't a quarterbacking problem that this team had. Now, going into this game, I said it was mostly a defensive team problem. And I would have thought if you're holding a team to 21 points, you'd find a way to get that victory for the Elks. But what came down to not expecting was the O-line is going to be that awful.
If you're holding Saskatchewan to 21 points,
you should win that football game. You should win any. To me, 24-21.
Yeah.
You have an offense that puts up should average 24 points or better. If your defense can average 21 points or less, you're winning. That's my 24 better for your offense, 21 or worse for your defense.
I want to get to this one here, Matt.
Right, but 21 points, you should have won this football game. But that's my Cody came out through 3 quarters. He's putting up yardage. He was playing well still, but it was only 4 points scored.
No, you can't. You're right.
Jr. dropped the football. Now he made up for it on the very next play. I'm concerned about the rest of this receiver. Not the rest of this receiver. This receiving core outside of Dunbar. Dunbar had that beautiful catch.
Gurley Gittens Jr. had a decent game.
I'm just worried there's not enough playmakers and it's too many of these guys have decent games.
Fair point.
You can get to that message.
Shanked One says, "Hi guys, I was watching tonight. Question: when there is a roughing the punter, is it not an automatic first down? A no yards penalty on the same play, and we have to punt it again?
It wasn't roughing the punter.
Go on.
I'm sorry. I don't know if there's more to that.
No.
Yeah, and it wasn't roughing the punter. It was illegal contact on the punter. Or illegal contact, which is a 10-yard penalty. You replay the down. Well, it would have been 10, but because of the offsetting,
by a stupid no yards penalty.
Then it goes 5 yards back. Had it not been, I don't know what the downage was. They might have got a first down or that, but it was, it wasn't roughing the kicker.
What do you think of this? He follows this up with saying, I would have put Trey Ford in after the 5th sack. There would have been less sacks, and I bet the run game would have been better.
Look, I'll say this. I think there would have been less sacks today if Trey Ford was the starting quarterback.
Cody Fajardo got out of some hairy situations.
But I think Trey would have got out a couple more. Does that change this game? No. No, it's not changing this football game. There was a couple of those sacks that even I was jokingly it's only they had a scrambling quarterback. And you're like, no one's getting out of that one. You're right. There was a couple of those. It doesn't matter. The right side collapsed so quickly. Even Trey with his speed wasn't getting out of that.
There were sometimes they weren't touched, Matthew.
With how well Cody was playing, you couldn't go to Trey. You just couldn't. Even if you that's just not something. It wouldn't have changed significantly in that game. And in the end, Cody is actually mobile. He was your leading rusher today. Is he as mobile as Trey Ford? No. But is he a McLeod Bethel Thompson, Bo Levi Mitchell-esque player? No. He can move. He could run. There was no reason to go to Trey Ford tonight. There's none.
What do you think of this? I put out my quick thoughts after the game on Twitter. Trevor Harris replied, not that Trevor Harris.
Oh, I was about to say, oh, no way.
A listener, Trevor Harris, said, Fajardo was good, but not going to win many games with no O-line or running game. Unfortunately, now at 1-5, I just give the ball to Ford and see if he can be the guy next year or not.
I'm not there yet.
I'm not there yet either.
I don't think this team is out of the playoffs yet. I said it on Hernan today. I look at the stretch of the next 4. No Western games. It's all East. It's Hamilton. It's Montreal. It's Toronto. It's Ottawa. If the Elks can go 3-1, I think they're back in a conversation. And let's see what I think he'll be back by Labor Day. I don't think we have to be concerned about that. But let's see what the status is of VA. I think that Calgary team is much different going into a Labor Day. But they have to go 3-1 in the next 4. But let's say they lose to Hamilton. You might as well just let Cody play Trey play the rest of the season. You might as well. There's no point. Like,
yeah.
Well, if you drop to 1-6 as you start August, you might as well let Trey go and see what you can get out of him, because you're not making the playoffs.
It's an interesting situation to be in, because now, instead of pointing fingers at players, there's a big finger being pointed at an offensive coordinator, which has been brought up before on this very show. Play calling has plagued this team all year. And in a game where you have that, it's in you can touch a victory. Defensively, they showed up. Special teams were there. Offensively, just needed to contribute a bit more. Finish some drives. And for goodness sake, help your team out. Help your O-line that's struggling. Maybe pull those guys. Maybe put that 6th blocker behind them. There was no, adjustments to rectify that throughout the game. Except, and we've seen this before. We've seen this in fourth quarters before, where all of a sudden the play calling gets a little bit more free. You open it up a little bit more. I don't know why you can't do that in the first quarter.
Or throughout a game. What was the game? I think it was the Ottawa game. We talked about that one drive. That was in the second quarter or something.
4
first
trick
half
plays in a row.
They scored a touchdown on that drive.
Yeah.
And then they stopped doing it.
Almost bit them in the butt.
Like, I just don't understand right now where Jordan McSimic is with this offense and what he's calling. And it seems like he looks at his players and he's not trying to find what's their best strengths and trying to maximize those strengths. And it's rightfully so that the conversation of this city right now should be, when it comes to the Edmonton Elks organization, is on this coaching staff. Because, look, apparently there's players there defensively. They showed it tonight.
And I'll say J.J. Ross and Logan Jr. at safety showed out.
Well, I really wanted to talk about Ross and go. He stepped up.
Yes.
He was registered for 4 tackles tonight.
Niles Morgan was very noticeable.
Well, I'll say that, okay, if I want to give credit to J.C. Sherritt, if I'm going to give a coordinator credit right now, whatever they did this past week when it came to tackling worked. They had an emphasis on finishing their tackles.
Very good point.
Which they haven't had this season. They've been awful when it comes to their tackling. But to your point with the Niles Morgan, he especially, the James Butler screen a couple weeks ago, he just went flying by and missed the guy.
Exactly.
Tonight, he didn't do that. Tonight, he got to the receiver who had the football, whoever had that football, and he got the tackle. He brought them down. So credit to J.C. Sherritt and the defensive coaching staff. I'll give them that one. They got that done this week. Keep that going.
You know who else did that? Justin Rankin in the fourth quarter on a 2nd and 20. Oh, let's just dump it to a playmaker out in the open. Let the defense come to us. And one block, and Justin Rankin picks up 19 yards. Next thing you know, 3rd and short, Fajardo picks it up.
Had the Elks tied this football game or won it, that was going to be my turning point of the game, because it was the turning point of this game.
Really? I just stole your thunder.
Why? I wasn't going to bring it up tonight.
I wrote it down. Huge 2nd and 20 pickup. That's like the simplest play in the playbook. I run that in my flag football age 10 and 11s. Oh, dink, doink. Go upfield, get vertical. Use your blockers. It's just mind-boggling. I'm sorry if I'm being repetitive, folks, but this is just me. I'm sorry. That is it's just not good enough as an offensive play caller.
It was 2nd and 20 with 4 minutes to go from the Elks 29, and they got it to their own 49. After that short yardage to get the first down, 1, 2.
Oh, and the play before that was a big pickup, but it was called back on a holding. 4
plays for a touchdown. Like, there was 4 more plays. On that 4th play, they were in the end zone. It it sparked this. It was a turning point because had they got stopped on that 2nd and 20, they would have punted. It was too much time on the clock. So I think go for it deep in your territory.
Correct.
If they got that ball back, I don't know if even if they score a touchdown, I don't think there's much time left to get the ball back and potentially win. So that was going to be one of my turning points.
This comes in from D. OC play calling is killing the offense. But penalties, yeah, but Jason Moss was run out of town because of penalties and passion. Defense was better, but OC is the issue regardless of QB. No movement, no motion, no ability to have creativity. It's north and south and bust. He should be fired, he says.
Well, actually, with that one, you can go get Paul LaPolice. There's a player, somebody I could point to if you want to replace a coordinator.
Paul LaPolice said on the broadcast he's got to be on the panel tomorrow. He's got a job to do.
I would hire Paul LaPolice in a heartbeat for an offensive coordinator. Defensively, I don't know of anyone. So I guess there is that one. Before we continue on, he's Jay Milne. I'm at Iwanyk. I should reset quickly. Elks fall 21-18 to the Saskatchewan Roughriders. They're 1-5 on the season now. They will take on the Hamilton Tiger Cats next Saturday down at Commonwealth Stadium. A nice 1:00 game, which means a noon green and gold kickoff show with you and a special guest. And Brendan Eric, who's going to produce for you guys, because I will not be here, unfortunately. Well, fortunately for why I'm gone, I'm very happy.
Why do you? No, you are the yin to my yang. I mean, this is going to be weird, but I'm going to do it.
But it's my boy's wedding.
I know you got your stuff going. It's fine. I'm not
missing his wedding.
No,
I am
you can't.
not missing my boy's wedding.
There's things that are in life that are more important than a pre and post game show.
And it was also would have been I can't make it. It's my cousin's kid's first birthday. I can't
unless you want to broadcast from his wedding.
Well, it would be before the wedding. I could do it inside the church.
Oh, even better. Can we get some divine intervention for this team? Hey, Father, can you bless this Elks team?
Well, this is one thing that's great about the Elks being on the road. We have some audio. Would you like to hear from the coach, Mark Killam?
Oh, this is great. Yeah.
Here's Mark Killam, Edmonton Elks coach. It's short. It's only 2 minutes long, but him speaking to the media in Regina following the Elks loss to the Riders. Oh, hold up a second. What did I do wrong with my computer? Oh, I think I had it muted. Rookie mistake. Who is this guy?
Well, Coach, I feel like you're not going to be as positive maybe as Cody after that one. How are you feeling?
Well, we played too much bad football to give ourselves a chance in that one.
How frustrated were you late in the fourth quarter there?
I was frustrated. There was a lot of bad football. That's the stuff that is holding us back right now.
Was it the Rider D-line or was it your O-line you felt like that was making it tough on Cody tonight?
I got to see the film. I felt like, really in that third quarter, I didn't feel like we were protecting very well at all. I'm not sure we even had a first down in the third quarter. Maybe we had one, but we've got to be better as a football team. It starts with cleaning up that bad football.
Without seeing the film yet, how do you evaluate Cody's performance tonight?
I think his stat line was decent, but the only stat that really matters is wins and losses. So, like I said, I don't think the gap is as far as the record indicates. But if we want to have a chance against a good team at their place, we have to play better football.
And going forward, how does the decision for your starting quarterback affect you?
Cody's a starter moving forward.
Did he change your offense the way, win-loss aside, did he change your offense the way you thought he would?
I don't know. I got to look at the film. It was. I felt like we did some things at times, but we totally turned off at times. So, like I said, I've just got to watch the film.
How do you motivate this group going forward?
They're motivated. That group's together in there. It's not a bad locker room. Those guys are together. They're motivated. Thanks.
There's Mark Killam speaking with the media. Very short, minute 40. Brett Jordan. I don't know who else was in there. Any takeaways from what he had to say?
Bad football.
Yep.
He alluded to that twice. Bad football is penalties, unnecessary penalties, and unaccounted men getting in the backfield. That's bad football. Bad football is when you're playing well below your level or availability or acceptability, which they did in both those instances, penalties and offensive line play. I will put in a little caveat here. the right side of the O-line. The left side of the O-line was actually quite strong.
Didn't hear much about Ivy. Didn't hear much about Cordy. Didn't hear
took
much
a
about
holding penalty.
Beard.
That's about it. Cody's the starter. I don't think that's changing for a while.
Oh, if they lose against Hamilton, I don't know why wouldn't you?
Matt,
make a
if
change
you
at that
lose
point?
against Hamilton and Cody goes 26 of 33 for 346 yards, throws 2 interceptions or 2 touchdowns and no interceptions, and your defense gives up
But this is supposed to be
low
about
20
winning,
points, it is.
and you're not winning. You went to Cody to start winning
football games. Do you think Trey's going to give you a better chance?
No, but again, it's at some point.
Cody gives you the best chance to win.
But the season's over.
Patrick Mahomes couldn't have eluded that rush. I mean,
But the season's over at that point.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sorry. Like,
essentially, Matt, you don't know when the season's over until the season is officially over.
But Trey has a bad game, you pull him. So, but
Cody had the best game quarterbacks had for this franchise this season.
No, he hasn't.
That is simply put. Yes, he had.
Based on QB efficiency.
No. Throw that out the window. Trey threw the ball 17 times. Cody threw the ball 33 times.
And how many points did they score in that football game?
Cody was sacked 8 times, Matt.
Trey played behind the exact same offensive line.
Do you think how many? Okay, let's just spitball this. Hang on.
I said
how many
said
sacks?
the game doesn't change today.
There was 8 sacks. How many sacks do you think there are if Trey's in the game?
5 to 6.
Okay, I think that's fair.
But the one ability that Trey has in those scrambles is that they could spark a team where that scramble could go for 20, 25 yards. But my point, like, Trey has one bad football game and you pull him. If Cody, and part of this reason is because you need to win football games. But if Cody goes out there and keeps losing football games, well, so everything's all Trey's fault, but it's no one else's fault in this organization's. No one else pays a consequence for losing football games. Just one player this season would pay a consequence for this team being potentially 1-6. That's what we're saying here. They're 1-6. No one else pays a consequence for that.
Oh no, that's not true.
Well, who else is paying a consequence?
We've just had stern words and put the offensive coordinator on close watch. Like, this is serious. Did kill him?
Yeah.
Who did he blame there? He blamed who he should have blamed. He blamed his O-line and he blamed his team for taking stupid penalties.
Yeah, but I don't think
costly
he put his
penalties
OC on blast.
Who's going to do that in a post?
No, I know, but that's why. So we're from this organization. Where is the accountability to anyone else in this organization for them being if again hypothetically we're saying lose next week to being 1-6?
I guess we'll find out. But
we've only seen 2 guys be held accountable
you would
for
be
this season right now.
Remiss if you didn't think that
but
Cody Fajardo gives you a better chance to win.
But what if Cody has a poor game next week?
Then that's on Cody. Tonight, Cody balled out.
Right, but we're talking.
Cody did everything that you...
Because you just said the foreseeable future for like a while. So let's say that Cody goes out next week.
Until
1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 175 yards.
Until you are officially out of the playoffs, Cody Fajardo will be the starter for this team. After that, sure, put Trey in.
Just like they've done the last few years. Well, just like they have in the last years, and then you lose out on a proper development. So then cut him.
Sure.
Cut Trey Ford at that point.
Do it.
Because there's zero confidence this organization would have that he would be a starting quarterback.
I agree with that.
That's what the organization would be saying.
Let him go and see who's waiting to pick him up on the other side, Matt. Who's waiting in line to pick up Trey Ford right now? Is there a bidding war for Trey Ford right now? No. Because he has not proven anything. He's had several opportunities. But you said it earlier that he's had his chance this year. He was a starter for the first 4 seasons, and he didn't deliver.
But he did. He played well against Winnipeg, and he had a perfect game. And then he had a perfect game against Ottawa. He had 2 good games.
He did not finish the game in Winnipeg. So we're at the same situation we are with Cody Fajardo here.
Right. Okay. So if Cody goes and has a poor game next week, Trey's up 1. Because he had a good game after that. If you look
at the stat lines of Cody Fajardo, I'll put it up against any game that Trey has ever played. Tonight's stat line from Cody Fajardo is better than any of them.
when you
in
lose
total yards.
but it's not about
Cody Fajardo doesn't play defense. Cody Fajardo's not on special teams giving up my point, no yards penalties.
Ed Hervey has made it clear that he believes that Trey Ford could be the starting quarterback of this franchise because he gave him a 3-year contract where the money escalates over those 3 years
with heavy bonus incentives,
except in that last year. It's not bonus at all. It's $400,000 hard money. That's not bonus.
That third year.
Right, but so you gave him that because you believe you could do that.
Right.
If you believe he could be that, then you can't just give him only garbage time the rest of this season.
Okay, then let me ask you this. If the Elks were to release Trey tomorrow, are you getting picked up next week?
Yes. Somebody's picking up Trey Ford. Is he a starter? No. But if Cody gets cut this week, you think somebody's taking him as their starter outside of maybe Calgary because their quarterback got hurt?
Montreal?
They're not
back in a heartbeat.
Not over MBT. He just beat Calgary.
He beat Calgary because Vernon Adams Jr. got injured.
Doesn't matter. They're not cutting MBT at that point. A lot. We could go through the roster right now. How many players of the Edmonton Elks would get cut and be picked up tomorrow? You think Gittins Jr. or Julian Grant are getting picked up necessarily?
Now that is a fair point. Yes, I agree.
So they shouldn't be playing the rest of this season. Because no one would pick them up.
Find better people.
No one could pick them up. No one would pick them up.
Find better people.
Like I just, there does come a point again. You got to start. What is the plan for the future then?
What is the plan? Cody Fajardo is 33 years old. He could play another 6 years.
Then that's what I'm saying. Then cut Trey.
Sure, I'm not saying that. Trey. You got him signed. Keep him on there as a viable option.
But he's not viable.
Cody Fajardo gets hurt.
But he's not viable.
He's not.
You don't believe he can go win?
Has he?
Yeah. He won more here than MBT did.
Trey's like a winning quarterback. He's a that's what I'm saying. Release him tomorrow, and is he on a waiting list? Is he in a bidding war to get his services? Realistically,
there's no bidding war. But again, I don't think there's a bidding war for Cody Fajardo right now. Saskatchewan's not bidding for Cody Fajardo. BC bidding for Cody Fajardo. Winnipeg bidding for Cody Fajardo.
I just wonder how long this is going to continue to where it's, Trey's not getting developed properly. Trey's not this. Trey's not. What if Trey's just not good?
But that's fair. But at the same time, if Cody Fajardo goes 0-3 or 0-4 in his next in the 3 of 4 games, why are you sticking with Cody Fajardo? You're not this team won't be mathematically eliminated until like October.
Well, then you got to keep going. Then you got to keep going with your best option to give you a chance to win. Do you think?
But then clearly you don't have the best chance to win if you go 0-4.
Do you think the Double E lost because of Cody Fajardo tonight?
No, but what is that? That's not has nothing to do with if he loses more football games the rest of this way.
Okay. Do you think they lost because of their defense?
No.
Okay. Those are two positives that have been picked up since last week.
Okay.
Right? Maybe this team can build on that and bring something that
But even Mark Killam said it, and we played it on the pregame show. Did this team lose only because of Trey Ford against BC 2 weeks ago?
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
But
if Cody Fajardo plays that game, do they win that football game?
There was really nothing going their way in that game in BC. Trey included.
And if there wasn't for a broken play, there's a really good chance we're talking about on a team here today that only scored 4 points. Cody did exactly what Trey did against Montreal. Put up points late in a football game.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to disagree with you.
Well, that part's just true.
That part's true. Cody Fajardo moved the ball down the field. That you cannot debate.
I won't debate that. He also only put up 4 points through 3 quarters. And if he goes and loses 3 or 4 football games in a row, I don't know how you could keep sticking with him.
Well, hopefully you don't get to that point. But I mean, right now, I just don't see a semblance of a team that's going to really move and shake. Right? I think you do have to stick with Cody Fajardo until you are proven to be eliminated from the playoffs. At least put your best foot forward in terms of the quarterback position. And I feel like that is Cody Fajardo right now. Now, I made it very clear in the pregame as well, is that this is not an indictment on Trey Ford in perpetuity. This is just right now. He's not seeing the field right now. His footwork is not where it needs to be at the professional level. Trey Ford would tell you that to your face.
Mm-hmm.
Those are things he needs to work on. That takes time. Right? Yeah. But when the first time Ricky Ray stepped on the field, you're like, ooh, this guy is a winner. The first time Michael Riley came to Edmonton, oh, this guy's got it. I've never felt that way about Trey Ford. Never. You know that. I hope sincerely that I am proven wrong. And you could put my face on a t-shirt and say Trey Ford, not a proven winner, and cross my face. I hope so, because that would mean good things for this organization. Unfortunately, right now, it's just not the case. What was that emphatic keyboard?
I'm just clicking. Of all the quarterbacks that have played through Edmonton since COVID, he has the most wins by any quarterback. That includes Trevor Harris. That includes Nick Arbuckle. That includes Taylor Cornelius. That includes McLeod Bethel-Thompson. That includes Cody Fajardo at this moment.
Cool. How many times have they made the playoffs?
Absolutely. But it's, to me, this goes beyond quarterbacking. I said that at the start of the kickoff show. And if they keep losing football games, more change. Like, it's not even just quarterback. There's got to be more changes that are coming.
Higher up the chain. Yes.
Maybe put Trey out there with an offensive coordinator that will call things that will work for Trey.
I would agree with you on that. I would agree.
At the same time, maybe have an offensive coordinator that calls things that will not allow Cody Fajardo to make a throw and not just get hit all game, because his own line isn't able to protect him, and then they choose to keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, and not figure it out until fourth quarter and be like, oh, maybe we should do this.
I was just going to say that. You know, it's in-game adjustments that seem to be quite slow and almost hesitant, because they're so stubborn with a game plan that was made for this team. Well, if you come out and somebody punches you in the face, you might have to change said game plan. Albeit slightly, but maybe just, hey, if we're getting vacuumed on the right side of the O-line, why don't we just dump it over the top to a really incredible athlete in Justin Rankin or Javon Leake and let them run one-on-one in the open field?
Also, I don't know if we've seen this season. And initially, I started with wanting Trey on this one, but I can go even with Cody, because we didn't see it today, is a situation where Rankin and Leake are on the field at the same time.
Good point. Yeah. You would think that there would be some sort of a split back, wing back. Oh, wait. I know why. Because it involves misdirection. This team is allergic to misdirection.
You could fake a pitch one way and pitch it the other way or something.
Oh, well, that would because you would need creativity, Matthew.
And that's the issue I have, is that we haven't even seen something like that.
And I don't get it, because McSimic has been creative.
BC offenses have had, but it's been passing.
But pass it to your running backs then.
It'd be nice. We
didn't talk about this, but early in the game, how did that Curly Gittens Jr. catch not get challenged? Was this first quarter, Matt? Yeah, I think it was first quarter. Like, when a receiver gets up and they think that they've got it and they're sincerely shocked that it wasn't a catch, you might want to throw that, because that was a first down. The ball, I think that was on a drive. I think they had already had a first down.
It was second quarter early, 12:25 to go. They were at their own 17. It was 2nd and 9. It would have been a first down at the Edmonton 31. At the time, it was 4-1 Edmonton. And I'll say this. We only saw one replay of it. I don't know why we didn't see more. Because that was the roughing the legal contact on the punter, no yards play. That was that one. Because then you said maybe you could still challenge it because they had to replay the down.
That's right.
That was that situation.
That's right. That led to the roughing on Cody Gray.
We had enough time here to see one replay and go, he caught that.
Immediately.
Huge control when you snap that football. I don't know why that one didn't get challenged. I did not like the challenge of the punt.
I didn't mind it.
It didn't look conclusive enough.
It didn't. And I saw an angle of Mark Killam on the sideline holding, when a coach has his hand down by his side, he's pressing all the buttons so that everybody can hear. What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? That is an all systems go. And nobody said anything. He kind of said F it and threw his flag. That was just a gut feeling on him. Now,
and there was one replay I saw after that looked like it hit the rider hand.
Right. And in hindsight, not a great challenge. But what if in a bang bang play, it does bounce off his helmet and go out of bounds and you're in immediate scoring position?
But
it was too sexy of a potential to not challenge, in my opinion.
But that Gittins one, I know it's early in the second quarter. That is getting overturned. You keep your challenge and you got your first down. I'm with you. Like when TSN showed the one replay, I thought we were going to cut back and see the shot to Mark Killam throwing the red flag on the field. And he didn't even have his hand close to the red flag to challenge it. I was surprised by that one. And the Elks need to do a better job of equipping Mark Killam with getting him the right answer for what he should do on that. That one should have been challenged without question. I'm glad you brought that one up.
This comes in from Gary from Winnipeg. Considering Edmonton gave up 8 quarterback sacks, losing the game by only 3 points is amazing. Stop playing the what-if game. The loss is a team loss and cannot be blamed on a single player. Any team that gives up 8 quarterbacks sacks will never win a game.
Yeah, but you could put a lot of blame on Boyko and McKellar. If we had a guess, if we could go see the stats of where most of those 8 sacks came from, I'm going to assume it's Boyko and McKellar's spot of the offensive line they got through.
Yeah,
so I can't put it on most, I can't put it on singular players, but they'd be up there. Those would be 2 guys I would signal out as going, they were big reasons as to why the Edmonton Elks weren't able to move the football. They were big reasons why they only had 4 points through 3 quarters.
Do you ever have bad days at work?
No, I'm perfect.
I know, but you have you're like, ooh, that was a rough day. This was like a bad day where you accidentally tripped and spilt the chili all over the floor.
Yeah.
Kevin from that was a bad day. Oh, and by the way, when you're trying to get up off the floor, you pull the fire, just bad day. That was an all around bad day.
Oh, I had that day last week. I said something I shouldn't have said. What was this week?
Who?
In a text. I said something I shouldn't have said.
Yeah.
I then put a bunch of those peanuts or the almonds, chocolate almonds, on the desk with you and Reed, which Reed immediately grabbed. And then you're like, and then he dropped them and he went to go wash his hands and you immediately threw them in your bag. And I'm like, crap, I should have known better. There was a few things that day. That was this week.
So that was like a 10th of the days that Keller and Boyko had, just to put it in perspective. This comes in from Hugh.
Touch anything, and then it could have been a real bad day for me.
This comes in from Hugh Jazz. Maybe they need to install some pipes into the field with secret foot pedals so the double E players, and only them, can stay hydrated quicker. I think that comes from a JMO story he told early in the week about how Kay Stevenson wanted to rip apart Commonwealth Stadium to install secret water pipes for hydration stations.
Yeah, and for those that missed the Reed Wilkins show with JMO, go check that interview. It happened yesterday. Part of it, too, was the players would know they would be able to run to certain points of the field and step on a pedal that would shoot water up so they can drink from it. And they'd be the only ones to know because the other team apparently doesn't have eyes and wouldn't notice that, they're getting water from this one spot. We can also go there and get water from this said spot. So,
Shaggy in St. Albert. Yes, waste another year trying to find out if Trey is a starter. Season is over. Find out what you have in Trey, which you should have done last year.
Yeah, they should have. That's what they should have. And if you
know what you have in Trey yet,
you're getting more. I'll agree. You're getting more.
I know, but give him 18 games. He'll blossom into a star quarterback. Are you out of your mind? Are you delusional?
What year did Cody Fajardo become a starting
Trey
quarterback?
Is what you get from Trey. He can do amazing things.
What year did Cody Fajardo become a starting quarterback?
in his 4th year.
And what year is this for Trey?
4.
What did Cody Fajardo do in his first 3 years?
Took the
Toronto?
ball and never gave it up. Trey Ford Trey Ford was declared the starter this year. He had all the opportunities.
And
he has not
in Toronto. What did Cody Fajardo do in 3 years?
Like this has got to stop.
But
this has got to stop.
It does take some quarterbacks time to develop.
Everybody's going to blame everybody but Trey on his outcome.
How long did it take VA to become a star quarterback in this league? How many stops did it take him? But how many years? Took him quite a few years. Jeremiah Mazzoli had to go through a few stops in a few years.
Jeremiah Mazzoli's not a star quarterback.
He was for a period of time before he got back-to-back injuries.
Briefly.
Yeah, but they had back-to-back injuries.
Mm-hmm.
In this league, we have seen from some quarterbacks, it takes them years to get there. But they need starts. And I'll say this right now, and before you jump, there is at the very least one individual thought he can be a star quarterback in this league, and that's the general manager of the Edmonton Elks, Ed Hervey. Because if he didn't have to sign Trey to a contract. Ed was under no obligations to bring Trey back. So clearly Ed sees something in Trey that he could be a star quarterback in this league.
RPK says you will find nothing from Trey behind this O-line. It will not be fair to Trey.
I don't care if the O-line is not fair to Trey or not. Cody has to deal with it.
Well, but
in fact, I would have more criticism of Trey behind this O-line than I would of Cody because Trey has the ability to get out a little bit better.
But that O-line got quite exposed tonight. And like I said, it didn't matter if you were Patrick Mahomes behind that O-line.
Okay, but in one way, did it get exposed because Trey wasn't behind center? And able to escape pressure.
Cody did escape.
That we have seen at times this year where there was a couple points, though, where I can't remember exactly where it was, where Trey has seen the guy come in, just spins, gets away, and is gone. We see that from Trey time and time again. Today, Cody was one of those guys. He didn't do the spin and get out. He stepped inside. Another guy came and sacked him. Is the offensive line struggles we saw today partly been masked because of Trey Ford from the last few weeks?
Potentially. I'm just looking something up here. So I think Trey's season high was 27 of 36 against the Alouettes.
For passing?
I believe so. Other than that, it's been under 30 attempts for the most part. His most effective was the 15 of 17 game, which everybody likes to talk about.
Because it was a perfect passer efficiency.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to throw some...
I mean...
Here, look, are these... to start this season, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 0 touchdown, 1 interception, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Is that good numbers?
So that's 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions?
5 to 5.
That's not good.
Okay, that's the guy who should be the MOP of this season, Vernon Adams Jr.
This year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not always about the stats.
It's about the team.
Yeah.
Which is what I've been talking about, what we've been talking about all night.
But it's about going to get victories, and it's not always about just looking at the box score and seeing, did this quarterback put up high passing numbers?
Agreed. It's about penalties. It's about poor O-line play. Those are the first things we talked about.
But you're talking about Trey's numbers of this season.
No, I'm talking about who gives you the best opportunity to win. And it is undeniably right now, Cody Fajardo. If you're saying otherwise, I'm sorry. You're delusional.
I said Cody should start next week.
You did. Yeah. Absolutely. But there will be a point, Matthew, if Cody doesn't come through and get wins, that yes, then maybe at that point you move on. And I'm sorry, Trey, if that doesn't suffice for you and you're like, oh, I'm only getting garbage time. Well, no.
Well, I don't want to say that Trey has never been that type of quarterback.
I'm not saying he has.
I know, but that shouldn't even be put out there.
I know, but don't perpetuate this belief that Trey's not getting opportunities. That, Trey's been mistreated by this organization. I'm sorry. That conversation's done. He's had his chance. It's not happening.
But he has been mistreated in the past.
The past is the past.
Absolutely.
100%. He was given the ball. He was signed to a long-term deal. Sorry. This is a results-oriented business.
Absolutely. If Cody has a terrible football game, he needs to get pulled because that's the standard this team set.
If Cody has a terrible game, I'll be the first to call him out.
Well, you kind of haven't. You said he should have the ball until they're eliminated from playoff contention.
Because I think he's better than Trey.
Right, but now that's two different things you're saying.
Because I don't believe he'll have a blow-up game. I don't think he'll have a game like last week or 2 weeks ago before the bye week against BC, where you missed 4 wide-open receivers on potential touchdowns.
Bye week.
Well, Edmonton's horrible off bye weeks. They're now 1-8 coming off of a bye week.
Since 2022, I believe.
Not good.
It's just I always keep saying last week. If there's one complaint I have, Cody, today, there's one.
Yep.
He didn't hit Gittens Jr. for a touchdown.
I knew you were going to say it.
We would have hit the Jay and Matt's big play of the game. Big U texted me at one point. It's like, if only we could get a Gittens Jr. touchdown. And I was like, well, yeah, but we're not going to hit the over because I was mixing the lock shot parlay I built today with Jay and Matt's big play of the game. And then he's like, yeah, we only need just that. That's not necessary. And then I was like, oh my God. And then they threw the touchdown pass to Dunbar Jr. But I do have Dunbar Jr. for my fantasy, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, you did. Did you start him by accident or forget?
No, I have injuries.
Well, good.
I have injuries. Plus, I was waiting for the BC Lions depth chart, and I forgot to look at their injury report from this week.
Oh, Lord, give me the strength to get this team a victory. What if the victory happens next week when you're not here? All right. The topic will come up.
If they win while I'm not here, there might be a chance that I'm not going to do the next week.
Dr. Octagon says when GG Glue Guy hates someone, he really hates it. I don't hate anybody, for starters. And I'm just merely expressing my opinion about a professional athlete.
Just like I'm expressing my opinion about the same professional athlete, but we have two different views on it.
Absolutely. And
it's
they
not a
are
hate thing, and it's not a
no.
It's not.
This is what we do. This is what we are here to do: is to give our honest assessment. Because if we weren't giving our honest assessment, why are we even here? Now, but I would never take that to that level. As I've said many times.
Have I ever hated a professional athlete for what they did on a field or a game? I don't think so.
How really could you? I mean, you could have animosity.
Disliked. I was one that was very mad with Archie Whitlock. I never forgave him.
Who?
Archie Whitlock, first game with the Elks, hit two drops.
Haven't heard that
major
name in
drops.
a minute.
But I don't think I've ever hated a player. Just for what's happened on the field. Off-field stuff, yeah, I've hated players. I'll just say the Trey bus to Calgary for Labor Day is going to be a lot more fun than the Cody bus.
We'll see how next week goes. Are we going to do that? That would be fun.
I don't know how we plan that out, but
maybe like in
I am separating us on that bus. I think right now, not because of today, but just there's other reasons. Any final thoughts from this game?
No. I think I've got everything off my chest. Which says a lot.
Jordan McSimic, work on your adjustments, get better game plan. This team will have success. It's that simple.
Well said.
I don't care about Cody. I don't care about Trey. The defense actually played well. You blew it. Also penalties, figure that out. They were so good this season.
They were.
Figure that out.
Special teams penalties.
What do I have to say before we leave? Next up, August 2nd. GoElks.com to get your tickets. It'll be a Saturday afternoon. It's going to be like later this week. We get like a nice weather. We get actually summer in Edmonton.
Yeah.
What better way to spend it than at Commonwealth Stadium?
What is it?
Salute to service night. Yeah.
That'll be fun.
GoElks.com. Get your tickets. Also, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Click on Labor Day Bus if you want to join us to Labor Day. EST Labor Day is the promo code to get it for cheaper at $125 plus GST. I won't be on that show, so for anyone that's mad at me tonight or doesn't like me for many reasons, it's going to be Jay, it's going to be Brendan Eric, and it's going to be special guest. When are you going to announce that one?
He will be on our show this Wednesday.
Reed Wilkins show with Jay Milne.
Yes.
On Wednesday.
And it is not Jed Roberts.
Oh, he would have been good. I just thought of that. That would have been a good one, actually.
He would have been good, but I know he likes to go to the game.
Okay.
He takes his family and stuff, so.
Oh, you should say that if next year if I'm gone for a away game.
Yeah, I would.
So that's going to happen next Saturday on Edmonton Sports Talk. Coming up tomorrow, we've got Riverhawks action tomorrow night. Sunday, we also have a little bit of Riverhawks action, but 8 o'clock, we got the VIP golf show. Then Monday, Tuesday, big days for Edmonton Sports Talk. The morning show will have its final show in this office. The Hangout will have its final show in this office. And then we're done broadcasting from this office. Tuesday morning at 6 a.m., you will see our brand new studios that we'll be broadcasting in. They are Bruce Simpson and William Huff have already wrapped it. We're very much excited about that. But it's going to be a busy week for us here from Edmonton Sports Talk. Jay, thank you very much for all the work you've done.
My pleasure.
For the last little bit, but tonight especially.
My fingers are sore, Matty.
You, Coob, and Reed did a lot.
Oh,
today,
well,
so
now you
thank
pulled Garden Duty. Hey, didn't Happy Gilmore 2 come out tonight?
Well, about
Wasn't it the
23
release?
hours ago.
Oh, yeah?
Came out at midnight last night.
At
Or like
midnight
this-
last night.
You could have been watching it for the last 23 hours.
Well, I'll have to look forward to that. Maybe I'll watch it in like a year. It's usually how those things go.
If there's ever a blowout for the Elks like they did against BC last week, I'll throw that one on. I'll promise that. Thank you to all of you for tuning into the Green and Gold kickoff and post-game shows. We do greatly appreciate it. Whatever side you're on all the conversation, thanks for chiming in. Thanks for chiming on the nasty chat. Actually, we didn't get into the inbox at 780-218-9999.
I did a couple times.
Did you read some of those?
I
Thank
did.
you very much
I
for
did.
that. Enjoy the rest of your weekend to all of you again. Edmonton Elks fall 21-18 Saskatchewan Roughriders. They drop to 1-5 on the season. Next up, Hamilton Tiger Cats next Saturday, August 2nd down at Commonwealth Stadium. Jay will be on at noon with the Green and Gold kickoff show. On behalf of Jay, I'm Matt. Thanks for tuning into the Green and Gold post-game show. Enjoy your weekend. VIP golf show Sunday morning with Murray McCourt, 8 o'clock. Be sure to tune in for that one.